Brian Hoggard is a folk historian organising a conference about charms built into our buildings in the country and in Norfolk in particular. Brian, what is the weirdest thing you've found built into somebody's house to bring it luck?
Well, there was a whole donkey buried underneath a barn in Hertfordshire, and also behind a false wall in a cellar in Greater Manchester, a dead kitten was found that had been, it seemed like this was some kind of black magic where it had been, had its belly split open and its legs splayed, and it's horrible, isn't it? And there was also a little bag of figurines and a little pile of berries in the same cavity.
Wow.
Someone was doing some kind of strange ritual in there.
It is pretty creepy, isn't it?
It can be.
I have to say, I wouldn't want any of that stuff. I wouldn't want to know it was in my house anyway. Do people contact you to get rid of things?
No, because most of the things that we find are actually there to protect the house from witchcraft. So really they're not that creepy. They might seem creepy, but actually that was the way the people, there was a variety of methods that they used to protect themselves from witchcraft, and some of these objects did that exactly really well.
So the donkey, how on earth would that protect your house?
Well, not entirely sure about that one. That was a bit of a weird, you did ask for weird.
Yes, well locally there's a big cat, isn't there? And I think the hotel or the pub's been named after it. Why would a dead cat have been buried into the walls?
Well, my thinking on that is that cats were quite nocturnal and they were friendly to humans and they were a little bit mysterious, and I think that people felt that if they could attach the spirit of a cat to their house, that it might be able to protect them from the witch's familiar. So while it was kind of, it would be protecting the house at night, should any little nasty imps or assistants of the witch try to creep into your building.
That does make sense, okay, but we've got jars of hair and nails and urine. Why jars of wheat in the wall?
Okay. Well, originally people thought that you could take one of these bottles, and they were actually made of stoneware, so they were really, really hard, and they had a little face on the side and a big pot belly, and people would urinate into that and then boil it on a fire if they thought that they were bewitched. And the idea was that people believed there was a sympathetic connection between the witch and his or her victim, and if you boiled this bottle that kind of represented the witch's bladder on a fire, it would cause them excruciating pain, and then they would beg to be released from that, and in return you could sort of parley so that they would remove the spell that they put on you in the first place.
Wow.
If that didn't work, then you would bury it, and that's when you would put locks of your own hair and bent pins and everything inside it as well. And I think part of the idea with that is that eventually it would act like a lightning conductor. So if any kind of evil was trying to come down your chimney, it would sniff you out. It would think it was sniffing you out, and it would plunge down into the bottle, trying to attack you, and it would get skewered on all these pins inside.
Goodness gracious! And you're constantly finding stuff.
Yeah, we get reports all the time. I mean, I've got my website, and people report me finds through that all the time from all over the world.
And we're finding a lot in this area in East Anglia, because why?
Well, there's an awful lot of witch bottles in particular from the southeast. It seems to be that that's where the practice began, and part of the reason for that is that the southeast ports were the places where all these bottles were imported from Germany. So we had vast numbers of these bottles imported into the country, filled with beer and wine, and they would then, because they were so hard and so durable, they would be reused for all sorts of things, and because they had this kind of creepy mask design on the neck, people would use them for magic as well as other things.
Oh, how interesting! So they weren't specifically made for the spells. They were just bottles with beer or whatever in, and being reused.
Yeah, that's exactly it. And
this is fascinating stuff. So we could go on all day talking about it. It's really, really interesting. And because it's so interesting, you're having a conference about hidden charms. Tell us more.
Yeah, it's happening on Saturday the 2nd of April at the Town Close Auditorium, which is a lecture theatre in Norwich Castle. We've got 9 speakers, one of them coming from Finland, and they're all experts in different aspects of hidden charms and house protection. We've got someone looking at stone heads that would be included into walls. We've got someone looking at concealed shoes, which is perhaps the most popular object that pops up. We've got someone talking about cunning men and wise women, which was kind of the good neighbourhood witches, as it were, from the past. And we've got Annie Thwaite talking about witch bottles, and then other people talking about other aspects, including ritual marks, of which there are many in the southeast. We've got James Wright from the Museum of London talking about that.
That sounds amazing. So how do people find out more? Give us the website.
Okay, the website is complicated to spell, but it's apotropaios.co.uk. Do you want me to spell it?
And do you know what? I think people can probably Google, if they Google Hidden Charms, Norwich Castle.
They should find it, yeah. Or Google folk magic in Britain as well, that's another thing.
Yes. Yeah. But as you've mentioned, the apotropaios, what does that mean?
It's the Greek root of the word apotropaic, which means evil averting.
Ah, brilliant. Okay, but Google Brian Hoggard, Google Hidden Charms Norwich, and you will find out more. And that's on Saturday, April 2nd.
That's right, yeah.
Brian Hoggard, really good luck with it. Very good to talk with you this morning.
Yeah, thanks for the call.
And you are, according to Anthony Ashton anyway, who suggested we play this next, a charming man. The Smiths and this charming man. Great to talk with Brian Hoggard, who is a historian specialising in hidden charms.